Here we go. All right, domain. Whew. So on a graph from Algebra 1, what's the domain? The domain is the x values on a graph. So another name for x values when we have equations is we call them the input values. How are we doing in the back? Can you guys see that okay? How about over here? Can you see this okay? Okay. All right. On a graph, these are also the values from left to right. When we did this prior, the way we described this was either with an interval or with inequalities. I'll show you both. Okay, so what's the range then? If domain's x values, what's the range? Yep. Range is the y values. They are the outputs. Okay. And when you look at that question over there by the door where it was like f of x and I asked you to find f of -2, are you kind of remembering that? Okay. So the output is like when you put something in for x, the output is what comes out of that. That's what I mean by output. Okay. So just like the input would mean it's the thing you're putting in for the x. Okay, so the output is the thing that comes out of the function. And then when we're looking on a graph, this is going to be bottom to top. Okay. So before I talk about some of these other things, let's hop down to the first example. So first of all, in this chapter, we're going to be doing a lot of things with functions, okay? So like different properties of functions, and kind of the three that I'm going to focus on because I think they're familiar to you is that. Who's seen that before? All of you should raise your hand because you just spent like 2 whole chapters in Algebra 1 talking about parabolas. That doesn't mean you remember everything about it. I get that. But at least you should have seen it before, so I think that's familiar. The other one is an absolute value graph, which looks like the letter V. And then the other one is just like these random little piece graphs that I show you them. There's no equation for them, right? Because I figured those are ones that are familiar to you. So a couple things. Do you see those arrows on the graph? Those arrows mean that graph goes forever up and then forever in those both directions. Okay, it does not stop. So if I was describing the domain then, the domain is going forever this way and forever that way. So that's on the graph, we would call that all real numbers for the domain.
Good morning, staff and students. Just want to change up a couple of these drills today. Actually, we're going to do a quick lockdown drill and we'll move our tornado towards next week. So when we do a lockdown drill, pretty simple. That would be a red on the emergency action plan.